Hello and welcome back. In this video we're going to talk about assets, the machines, the individual devices that are monitored by the StatusWatch application. An asset is just that. It can be a machine, a lathe, a drill, a press on the machine floor. It can be an andon light. It can be any number of devices that are monitored by StatusWatch. We'll start by making sure we're in the Assets section of the application. We can see by our breadcrumb that we are. If we were not, we would simply click on the Assets folder in our folder tree to get there. Each of these little sets of gears here represents an asset, and an asset is just a folder. In StatusWatch, it's a folder that contains pointers, data points, that are tied to either actual points of information on the machine or are created as derived data points using that information and doing math on it or breaking it up into pieces. And we'll go into all of that in a little bit. We can go into any one of these machines and look at it just like we look at the contents of a folder, and we see these are some of the data points therein. We're not going to go into all of the details of this in this video, but suffice it to say that we can have functions. This is one here, OPC data points, actions, tables, data point groups, and data splitters. And we'll go into each of those individually in their own video. Let's go back and create a new asset. You'll notice as well I'm logged in as an administrator user right now. The previous user I was logged in as for the other videos was not an administrator and would not have the access to create assets. This is an admin only level operation. So let's go ahead and right click and choose new asset. Alternately, we could use the actions panel off to the left. I prefer my right click, so I'm going to create a new asset, and I'm going to call it My Amazing Drill. It'll think for a moment, and then the My Amazing Drill asset will suddenly appear in with the other assets and can be used as a folder just like any other asset in the system. There it is, My Amazing Drill. If we double click on it, we see that it's empty. Has no data points yet, but I could start adding those immediately and then could run reports from My Amazing Drill right away. Let's talk about an asset group. For example, let's say you have 30 drills, 30 amazing drills maybe, and all of them might be useful to report on as a whole. You want to run a report that shows all the data for all of your drills. It would be very tedious for you to, every time you wanted to run that report, drag each of those individual drills one at a time or double click each one of them in the report filters panel when we were running the report. The way to work around that is to add all of those drills to an asset group. Let's take a moment and go ahead and create one of those asset groups. We'll right click in the window here and choose New Asset Group, and I'm going to call this group All My Amazing Machines. It'll think for a moment, and there we have a new asset group called All My Amazing Machines. Just a moment ago I created an asset called My Amazing Drill, and we can see that I can now add that to this asset group. Go into it, it acts like a folder, right click and New Asset Reference. Here are a list of all of my assets. My Amazing Drill is going to become a member, and there we have it. We now have a shortcut to My Amazing Drill within All My Amazing Machines. If I choose to create a bunch more similarly named amazing machines as assets, I could add them all to here, and then at report runtime simply add the All My Amazing Machines group to the report in the filter section, and it would run across all of them.